So let's get started. What is chi running? Chi running is some very simple principles of anatomy, of physics, and of nature applied to your running position and your running motion. The result can be a dramatic increase in energy efficiency while reducing stress, impact, and injury. And of course, the all-important question for some, can you run fast with chi running? And yes, you can. But speed comes indirectly from technique and not by running harder. Many of these principles can be summarized in two key ideas. The first is, ask big, strong parts of your body to do relatively small jobs and not the other way around. And second, cooperate with the forces of nature. So let's look at how to apply these simple ideas. Your first job is managing the force of gravity acting down on you. If you align your posture, you use the strongest part of your body, your structure, your skeleton, and not your muscles to hold yourself up against this force. In alignment, your muscles can also relax, reducing resistance in your running motion. Your second job is to move forward. If you can cooperate with the force of gravity, it can propel you forward. A simple principle of physics says that if you take your posture line and lean it into gravity, there is an external force pulling you forward. This forward pull turns running into a controlled fall. What this means is that it's possible to run without using your legs for propulsion. The key is to maintain your posture line and lean efficiently from relaxed ankles. But as you move forward, there is a second very big force to cooperate with. This is the force of the approaching ground. When you are moving across the ground is actually coming at you. You have two choices. One is to let your feet land under you, where they can move with this force as it simply goes under you. The other choice is to let your feet land in front of your body, where they oppose this force. In this case, the force goes up through your body instead of simply going under you. To summarize, in this position, you are cooperating with gravity at the top and cooperating with the approaching ground at the bottom. But is this a natural way to run? There are many examples of this running form in nature. Perhaps the most illustrative are kids, including probably every one of you when you first learned to run. If you watch little kids run, they instinctively fall forward and they let their feet land under them. Other examples of this natural running form are many people whose survival has depended on their efficient and consistent mobility. The Egyptians make reference to the tilt of a runner's body. You can see this form in the Kalahari, who persistence hunt. You can also see it in many of the elite Kenyan marathoners. And you can see it in many Tarahumara Indians, now famous via the best-selling book Born to Run, which suggests running is just a controlled fall. And this natural form is also clearly evident in chi running. Here is a summary of the basic chi running elements. First is postural alignment with your shoulders over your hips, over your ankles with the neutral head position. A level pelvis, using the lower abdominal muscle, stabilizes both your pelvis and your posture line. At the base of this posture is a midfoot, or what could be called a full foot landing. With a relaxed full foot landing, you're using the structure of the lower leg and foot for momentary support. This minimizes both muscular effort and tension in the lower legs and feet, which is where many running injuries occur. Adding a lean to your posture line from your ankles engages the pull of gravity, and a very relaxed lower leg, foot, and ankle hinge limits any resistance to your forward fall. Only a small angle of lean is necessary, much less than you might think. To pick up your feet to keep up with your forward fall, a knee bend allows your heel to float up behind you. Note that the knee stays relatively low as it bends. With this motion, the heel will make a circle as you move forward. Note that the circle or the wheel is behind you and not under you. And the last item in this basic summary is an arm swing to the rear. This helps maintain your balance as you lean forward. These are the initial basic chi running elements. There is more to each one of these basic elements, and there are also a number of additional elements such as cadence, extending stride length to the rear, and hill technique adjustments, to name just a few. Now let's take a look at running from an upright position. In this position, gravity is only acting down on you, so for propulsion, you have to internally power yourself with muscle. This could be some combination of pushing with the feet, reaching forward, and letting your foot land and pulling with your hamstring, called pawback. At the same time, your foot strike is generally in front of the body, and this is often combined with a straight knee and/or a heel strike. Physics states that if your foot lands in front of your body's center of mass, it acts like a brake. In this position, you are braking against that very big force of the approaching ground, and that impact is traveling up through the body with a high potential for injury. In summary, there's a potential for high effort and significant impact. You might consider this driving with your foot on the gas and the brake at the same time. It is some combination of push, reach, brake, pull with each step. Here is a side-to-side comparison. There are clearly differences in position, effort, and potential stress or impact on the body. So let's put this into perspective with an analogy. If you were a very heavy object moving yourself across the ground, would you rather be in the shape of a square block or a round ball? I think you would all want to be the round ball, but why? Well, simple, it rolls. The round ball has very little friction. It's smooth. But with the sliding block, there's a lot of friction, and there is also a blunt front edge. So the block has high resistance and low momentum. Essentially, when you stop pushing or pulling the block, then the block stops moving. On the other hand, the ball has high momentum and very low resistance. It takes very little effort to keep the ball rolling. So let's take a closer look at this round ball. What part of the ball moves forward when the ball rolls forward? The top of the ball rolls forward, right? And what part moves backward when the ball rolls forward? The bottom moves backward relative to the ball's center, right? So what is this round ball starting to look like? Let me color it in for you. And let me add the chi running position. And now let me add the upright running position. If you run like the block, you have less momentum and a lot of potential resistance. If you run like the ball, you have a lot of momentum and very little resistance. So here's the question. How do you run? What does it feel like? And what if you could apply just one idea and move a little to the right? Or apply more ideas and move even farther to the right? What would that mean to you and to your running? So here's the difference. On the left, you have a lot of muscular effort, plus a lot of potential negative stress and impact that can cause injury. On the right, you have much less muscular effort, with limited negative stress on the body. But how do you change your position and motion? Simply, it takes practice. Practice sensing and adjusting your position, your effort, tension levels, and balance. A key skill here is body sensing, and a key concept is gradual progress. Just pick one or two focus points at a time and practice them. With consistent practice, you can create new habits. So here is a summary. First, a few simple principles. Principles that apply to anyone at any level, from a beginner to an experienced or competitive runner. A natural running form, the way you instinctively ran as a kid. High momentum and low resistance as you cooperate with the forces of nature. Very energy efficient while reducing the negative effects of stress and impact. And of course, speed, but indirectly.